Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about posting on social media, especially when you're not seeing any results. So the question is that I get asked is, I'm not seeing any results from posting. Should I stop? That's what we're talking about today, so stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.388.
When it comes to social media, you have to really take into account which platform you're on, your lifestyle, how you show up as far as your personality, and how far along you are in your business. You also want to consider if you are a one-woman show or you have a whole team behind you. So with all of that being said, I want you to understand that social media is about being social. You have to show up. You have to put yourself out there. You have to show your vulnerability. You have to show your authenticity. And you have to really speak to your dream clients. It's not about you. It's about them. And so what that means is the content that you post has to be meaningful to your dream clients. It has to mean something where it moves them either emotionally or into action with call to actions, where you're telling them, go do this thing, and then they do it. But if your content doesn't connect with your dream clients in that way, then they're not going to pay attention to what you post. I call this commanding content. And commanding content is content that commands the stage. It makes people turn their heads and look in your direction because you understand them. You're getting in their heads. You understand the feelings, the emotions that they're going through, and you're talking about it openly. This is very relatable. Now, if you're just posting memes or you say something like, buy my thing, nobody cares. That's about you. I've been doing this for so-and-so long, and I have so-and-so certifications and degrees. Nobody cares. What they care about is that you understand them, that you see them, and that you hear them. So we have to come to content with an empathetic view. You're putting yourself in their shoes. What is it they want to know right now? They want to know that you're there supporting them. They want to know that they're not alone. They want to know that you get it. So you want to write content, commanding content that speaks to them in this way, so that when they read your content, they're saying, whoa, is she talking to me? How does she know that? It's as if you're in their heads. So if you're not writing content like that, that's your number one problem. The question that I got from the group was, how do I stay consistent in my effort to market via social media? Because I am not one to post on social media every day, especially when I don't see results. And what I want to tell you is that you're not seeing results because you're not writing commanding content. And then you're getting discouraged because no one's engaging, no one's purchasing your things, no one's taking those call to actions, joining your group or joining your email list or joining your challenge. And then you get discouraged and then you go, I don't really want to post anymore. So then you don't post as often. Well, what happens when you don't post as often? Well, now people don't see your stuff. And when people don't see your stuff, you're no longer top of mind. You're no longer the go-to expert, and people have lost trust in you. The way you build trust is by consistency. And when we say consistency, you hear this all the time. You got to show up. You got to be consistent. You don't need to show up and be consistent with crappy content, because that's going to be a great way to burn out because no one's engaging and you're still burning the engine. You're still going and going and going without any return. So it becomes this never-ending cycle. You post content, you're doing it again and again every day. Nobody's engaging. Nobody's doing the actions that you want them to take. Nobody's paying attention, but you're still going. And you go, one day it's going to turn around. One day I heard if I'm consistent, it's all going to happen for me. But what happens is if you're writing crappy content, no one's going to pay attention to you today, and no one's going to pay attention to you next year either. So we want to get to the core root of the problem, which is most likely you are not writing good quality content. Because if you were, people would turn their heads. People would read what you have to write. People would want to engage with you. People would take action. Hey coaches and healers, it's time to feel supported in your business. Head on over to our free community to get access to my best resources for free. I'm talking marketing tips, business strategy, mindset, support, feedback, and so much more. Join now at spiritualwomenentrepreneurs.com. See you there. So when we look at this as a whole picture, it seems very draining to show up every day and post content when nobody is doing anything. Now, there is a piece of this that requires you to build momentum, which means if you just start writing great quality content today, you're not going to necessarily have a sold out program in a week. So I encourage you to write great quality content for a minimum of 2 weeks every single day. If you want to take the weekends off, that's fine, but every single day for 2 whole weeks, stay consistent with high quality content, and you will start to see that the momentum is changing. And when the momentum begins to change, you start getting excited. Now the motivation is there to keep on going. So there isn't a burnout anymore. So instead of saying I'm posting and I'm getting nothing back, let's look at it and say, what are you posting? Let's post great stuff. You'll get something back and you'll be excited to share some more. Now, when it comes to consistency, it is true that you need to show up again and again and again. This is the way you're going to stay top of mind. This is the way that you're going to pop into people's news feeds all the time and leverage that algorithm. But I want you to consider your frequency. So if you're going to say I'm posting on Facebook twice a day, every day, 7 days a week, and that doesn't fit with your lifestyle, then I want you to say, what does fit with my lifestyle? Maybe I can post once a day, Monday through Friday. Well, if you can keep up with that frequency, you're more likely to stick to the consistency because the frequency is built in around your lifestyle or your personality. Or maybe you have a full-time job and you're working your business as a side gig. Or maybe you have a family to take care of and you just don't have the time. So using those as excuses, reasons for not posting, isn't going to move your business forward. I want you to reframe it and use that as motivation to make the most of the time that you have and stick to that frequency so that you have consistency. Now, different platforms have different requirements, and I say requirements with air quotes because the more you post, the more you're going to show up in people's news feeds, as long as you're separating your posts by a significant amount of time in between posts. But for example, on Facebook, you could post once a day. You could post twice a day. I would not post on one profile more than 3 times a day. On Instagram, you can post Monday through Friday, take the weekends off, post once a day. You can post 2 times a day. You can post 12 stories a day. You can post 5 reels a day. And I know some of the people in my industry who are posting 5 reels every single day have massive followings. The more you're posting on Instagram is directly related to how fast your follower count will grow. But that's not necessarily what we're going for. That might not be how you measure success. You might not be looking for thousands and thousands of followers. You might be looking for 1,000 followers who are so dialed into your content, they keep coming back for more and they truly want what you have to offer and they're buying all of your services and products. So I want you to think about your objective here because that's going to help you as well. Also, if you think posting 5 times a day is the most overwhelming thing you've ever heard of, well then obviously that's not the strategy for you. When I first started posting on Facebook, I was posting no matter what 3 times every single day at the same exact time, 7 days a week. Over the years, the strategies changed a little bit, the algorithms changed a little bit, and now I post twice a day on my personal page, Monday through Friday, and 1 time during the weekend. But you know what? There are some days where I don't want to post. I'm not feeling it, or I'm so busy I forget, or something else happens. I don't know what. And you know what? It used to be such a big hassle for me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't post. What am I going to do? I already have content ready to go, but I didn't do it. Now no one's going to see my stuff. And I would freak out. Now, as I'm a more mature version of myself, a more mature business owner, I've realized that, you know what? I missed a day. It's no big deal. And knowing that, it lets me relax. There's no anxiety about having to post. There are people in my industry who are very, very successful and they post 3 times a week. Again, it goes back to the frequency. Now, if you're trying to build the momentum, maybe you're newer in business or you have a launch coming up, you definitely don't want to post 3 times a week. You want to show up in people's news feeds all the time. And the people who are posting 3 times a week aren't posting fluffy content. They are posting such high quality content that they're getting hundreds of comments, which means the algorithm is boosting that post again and again and again. And in fact, that post does show up in people's news feeds for several days after they've posted it. So if you have a post that's dead on arrival, I would suggest posting again the next day. If you have a post that does amazingly well and gets so much engagement, it's almost viral, I actually wouldn't post the next day. I would let that virality run its course because that's going to help you with the algorithm. So all that to say, you've got to take this strategy, you've got to make it your own. But the more you post, the more you'll be remembered. There is such a thing as overkill though. So like I said, 2 to 3 times a day max on Facebook. And I'm talking about your news feed. And on Instagram, I would say 2 times, maybe 3 times as well on your grid. When it comes to stories, you really can go crazy here. So you can post 12 stories a day if you want to. You can post 2 stories a day if you want to. It's really up to you. Create a strategy that is something that you can keep up with, that's going to fit the way you do things with your personality and your lifestyle so that you can sustain this over time. There's nothing worse than burnout, and burnout is not a strategy. And so to answer the question, should I stop? The answer is absolutely no. What you should do is figure out why your content isn't converting and start getting in the minds of your dream clients, writing commanding content, and then create a posting strategy that fits with your lifestyle. Okay, I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Oh, wait, before you go, I've got a special invitation for you, so listen up. Join thousands of spiritual women, entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and business owners in a cozy community to learn effective and aligned strategies to grow and scale your business through organic marketing and so much more. I'm inviting you to join my free community called the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs to lift one another up in business, spirituality, finances, and emotional support. Visit spiritualwomenentrepreneurs.com. See you on the inside.